Oh, I'm just a blur in the world. I don't know how the song really goes, but I'm just going to keep doing this. Oh, welcome to the show.
National treasure, that guy.
I know, right? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Killer tofu. What's good, world?
What up?
I'm Phenom. That serious. Oh, hold on. Yeah, once again, finger. That serious.
Man.
Welcome to Captain Marvel review. We're going to try to get this done in 20 minutes or less. Let's see if we can stay out them rabbit holes.
Doubt it.
Probably not. So this movie came out 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
I saw it opening weekend, but I was out of town after that, so we didn't get a chance to review it. I think you just saw it last week?
Last Thursday?
Last Thursday?
Yes.
So do you want to give your rating first and then go into the review, or you want to give the review followed by the rating?
Ooh. I'm gonna give my rating first because I don't want my rating to be dependent on anything that you say here today. I gave it a modest 7 out of 10. I did enjoy the movie. The pacing of the movie was a little wobbly for me, but it leveled out and I was able to enjoy it the way it was supposed to be, like structured first, second, and third act. But no, it was just like, it was a good watch, but it wasn't anything, like it didn't get me excited for Endgame, but it was just like, all right, this is a new character. This is a new story. This is a new hero. This is their movie.
True.
So,
all right, I'll do mine. My rating has changed about twice.
Mm-hmm.
Because at first, when I left, I was kind of hyped. I was like, oh, I get this 9. Like, oh, the action, the music, da, 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 da. And then like I sat, and then I was like thinking about some stuff, like replaying some scenes in my head. And it was like little small things that I kind of didn't pay attention to that like kind of stuck out more and more.
Mm-hmm.
So I knocked it down to like 7.5.
Okay.
Then more stuff started sticking out. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this a 6.5.
Whoa, you went lower.
Yeah. Like the more I thought about it, the more it's just so people who, and I hate that I have to judge it like this, but I'm going to.
Mm.
People who know me know I wasn't the biggest Wonder Woman fan.
No, you wasn't.
Like, I didn't say the movie was bad. I just said that it wasn't like as great as, I just said that it wasn't that it wasn't a 93 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Right. You did say that.
I said you can't give that the same rating as Logan.
Right. Which you can't. You can't.
This right here, oh no. Wonder Woman, in my opinion, kind of shitted on this movie.
But how much?
It was enough to where it was like a diaper and a half full.
Okay.
Mainly because, like you said, the pacing, like to me, after the first act, the pacing, like when I sat and thought about it, definitely slowed down.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't even like the type of slow down where it was more informative, so it had to slow it down.
Right.
It was kind of just like, all right, we just kind of trying to stretch things out a little bit.
Right. That's exactly how I felt.
I will definitely give kudos to the de-aging because Samuel L. Jackson and Craig, god damn, I'm just all tongue-tied today. Clark Gregg looked a little weird because of the hair. Right. But Samuel L. Jackson, if you would tell me that's just how he looks today, I was like, I would believe that's, I wouldn't believe that's CGI.
Right.
But yeah, it was just the pacing after the first half. I mean, after the first act. Then it kind of felt like a road trip a little bit too much with Fury and Carol Danvers. Although I gotta admit that Sam Jackson and Brie Larson had good chemistry together.
Yes.
I was like, it's just during those slow scenes that the chemistry can't save you during a slow scene. Right. That whole oh yeah, I know that look on your face and that. I'm like, all right, whatever. Come on to the next one. And also, I kind of felt like this movie was trying to push an agenda. And there are going to be a lot of females that don't like me saying it, but yes, it was definitely trying to push an agenda. And I don't have a problem with a strong female character. I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like it when it feels like you're just trying to throw it in our face just to throw it in our face. Just
That she's
like,
a female.
Yeah,
strong
just like
character.
you're trying to make a. They tried to do that, and they tried to make a message out of immigration with this movie.
Oh yeah, they did.
And I feel like
they did.
Like I felt like when I watched this movie, they emphasized a lot on her being a woman
Mm-hmm.
and like a powerful woman. And I feel like when I rewatched Wonder Woman after it, I don't recall them doing that as much. Like there were times where they definitely pointed out she's a girl, and and people kind of doubted her because she was a girl, but
she was more like a powerful figure.
Yeah, and she didn't basically, like, even though she knew she was stronger, she didn't like kind of make it seem like she was above anyone else a little bit. Like,
yeah, it was
like,
more, and she was like a soldier.
Yeah,
it was just like she was just stronger than everybody else.
Yeah, it was just like I feel like, so when she crossed the line and it was like no man's been able to cross the line, how she was like, well, I'm no man. I feel like Captain Marvel was like, well, I'm no man, I'm a woman. I feel like in Captain Marvel she would have said like that one extra little line.
Uh-huh.
Like it was one scene, and by the way, this is definitely going to be spoilers.
Okay.
Because the movie's been out for 2 weeks now. Don't worry, I'll put it in the parentheses. Like, one thing that irked me was when she stole the dude's motorcycle.
Okay, that
because they went
is a problem for you.
Well, no, because they went out the way just to make him a douche. Like, no matter what, bikers are always assholes, but they went out of his way to make him more of an asshole. Hey, baby, you want to ride this stuff? Hey, I'm talking to you.
Yeah,
hey,
they didn't smile on white guys in this movie at all.
And then during one flashback, when they were talking about coming up through the academy, her and her friend, like, there's a reason why it's called the cockpit, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on.
I don't
man.
even know people who talk like that.
Yeah,
I don't even know if I've met a person who talks like that.
It was like,
not saying they don't exist. It's just real cartoony. Like if they exist in real life, that's a cartoonish ass person.
Yeah, and I understand the whole overcoming adversity thing, but I didn't like the montage they did with her. Like every time she felt like
she got up,
it's something about
that was her.
You know what it is?
Superpower as a human, son.
But I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with every time she fell down, they made sure they focused on the fact that there were guys around, like mocking her. Like guys like come on, you couldn't have just like one person, like you couldn't have one person that wasn't a female kind of encourage her a little bit.
Concerned,
yes.
After the go-kart crash,
after she crashed. So in this movie, she crashes the go-kart, and the first thing I think her dad does is just like kind of,
what are you doing? You're not supposed to be out here with the boys.
I'm pretty sure he's about to whoop her ass for doing that.
No. But the crash looked so severe. It looked like a NASCAR crash.
It looked like you run up to your daughter and you be like, what are you doing? Why would you do that? But you're hugging them while they do that.
She comes out holding her arm. She's bleeding from the top of her head, bruised up. Like, you call the ambulance.
It's a movie called Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. At the top of that movie, this little girl pretends she's getting sawed in half. Her father runs up to her because he's worried, and then he finds out she's joking, and he backhands her. I clearly thought her dad was going to backhand her. At no point did he show any type of compassion for what she felt. I was like, come on, man, you couldn't even for a second like, you couldn't start off with are you okay? You're not hurt, are you?
You're a little girl.
Yeah, like it was like you ain't do that. You went straight to, what are you doing? Why are you trying to be out here with the guys?
You know you can't drive fast like them. No, yeah, you're absolutely right.
And then just the way she got her power, like the not the way she got her powers, but like the way her powers unlocked at the end. Like she went Super Saiyan for like a moment, and that's probably what kind of hyped me up when she went a little Super Saiyan and the hair was going up. I was like, oh shit, she about to fuck some shit up. And then all of a sudden you just hear No Doubt, I'm Just a Girl playing. It's like,
yeah, that was.
I would take the CGI fest that is the third act of Wonder Woman any day over that, because
of course. All right, so Wonder Woman, that whole pacing, like to me, I thought the movie was kind of until the third act. Me and you talked about that, and in the third act, they just blew my fucking mind.
Yeah, see, I thought the movie. I thought the pacing of the movie. I was like, all right, this is for an origin movie. This is understandable. I understand the pacing of it. And then when it got to the third act, I was like, oh god damn it, Zack Snyder, you just had to put your fingerprint on this.
Bloom. Yeah. I was all for it. This joint was kind of like it had its highs, then it would go low. I feel like you said, there was no information. In all honesty, I feel like the highest high point of this movie was the beginning. Cause I liked her in the beginning, like the way she was with Jude Law in the beginning when they're practicing, and the way she was when she was on that ship before she got to Earth. Yeah. You know, she was like, she was kind of cocky, a little arrogant, kind of strong. Like she was so strong. She was like, I break the chains, I'm knocking you out while I'm still basically. I love that, and I feel like, while trying to discover her past, she just kind of lost a little bit of that. Like, I understand you want to soften her up a little to make her more emotionally, what's the word? Emotionally relatable. Right. But I liked her at the beginning a lot more. Like when she was sparring with Jude Law, and like every time Jude Law had something smart to say, she had a smart ass comeback. I was like, yep. I was like, that's my woman right there. My woman, like. But that was her through the whole movie, though. She was doing that with going back and forth with Samuel throughout the whole jump.
Yeah, but it didn't feel the same though, and maybe it didn't feel the same because she wasn't fighting as much. She was more so like, I'm on a quest to find answers. Where with Jude Law, she was more like that pesky kid, like, come on, let's train, let's fight, let's go on this mission, let's do something. Come on, I want to do something. And like once she got on Earth, like, all right, I guess we gotta do this and gotta do that. And
you might be surprised when I say this, but she was my ideal, like, female superhero.
Captain Marvel or the actress playing her?
Captain Marvel. Like, well, how Brie Larson played Captain Marvel. Like, that whole, like, cocky attitude, that whole, like, back and forth thing.
Like I said.
But she was always, no matter what goal she had in mind, it was always, like, goal-driven. Like, it don't matter what little shit would come in between. It's like, nah, I gotta find this about my memory or whatever. Nah, I gotta go.
See, I feel like when it got to that point, I felt like when it got to that point, she was determined, but it just didn't feel as determined. I don't know.
I mean, that's because the story was like I said, weak. Like, it wasn't a strong.
Yeah, it wasn't a
story.
Like,
plot.
To be honest, this is, if I had to rate this with the MCU movies, this is somewhere around Iron Man 2 and 3 and Thor: The Dark World.
But it's like number one amongst all of those, though. It's definitely the better movie of all of those that you just named. This is definitely the better movie out of all of those. It's better than Dark World.
Yes. It's definitely better than Dark World, and it's definitely better than Iron Man. It's definitely better than Iron Man 3. Iron Man 2 still holds that it still holds that spot in my heart because I finally got to see War Machine in action. So that kind of the way
it wasn't even like a long time though. Like I know, but shared like 5 minutes together in the third act.
Look, man. All right. Look, I had my moments, but
well, that's where we disagree.
Another thing that I wasn't that fond of. I wasn't fond of the Skrulls because I read up on them.
And they are not as
the way they were portrayed at the beginning of this movie is how they should have been. Yeah, the way they were portrayed toward the end, where once it became like once they were like immigrants and all that other stuff, I was like, God damn it!
So who the fuck are the bad guys? That's what you're
exactly who I knew it was going to be. As soon as the Skrulls came, it's like they're the bad guys. I was like, nope, they're the ones who fucked with her memory. They did this, they did that.
Got that little limiter on the back. Yeah, I was like, even when she like had full control of her powers, it didn't seem like it was just kind of everything kind of happened so quick, and it wasn't like, I don't know. I kind of wanted her to progress a little bit more with the powers. Yeah, she like figured everything out at the end.
Like when she learned how to fly, I was hoping like I wasn't like she just opened her eyes and then cuts away and then you see her flying. Right. I kind of want like a Superman Man of Steel moment where like maybe she lands on the ground and she like kind of calms herself for a moment and then like she just kind of thinks about it and then she takes off.
Mm-hmm.
But
they didn't really do a good job at scaling her powers either.
Yeah.
Like we really don't know how strong she is. We know she's strong enough to dispatch these.
Like
very
everyone's like, oh, she's gonna,
people.
yeah, like they're like, oh, she's gonna kick Thanos' ass. Like Thanos has all 6 of the Infinity Stones, and technically, she only has part of an Infinity. It's not like she has the whole Tesseract; she has part of it.
Right.
But
So
I will say some good things because we don't have a lot of time left.
mm-hmm.
I will say I like Goose the Cat.
Mm-hmm.
Goose the Cat was kind of dope, except for that last after credit scene. He didn't need to be that last when he swallowed the Tesseract, and then the after credit scene was him throwing it up. I think I told everyone to skip it.
That's why I didn't. I was like, I caught the first one. I'm gone.
Like I said, Brie Larson and Samuel L. Jackson's chemistry was very good.
I thought it was a bit forced.
You did? I liked it. I thought
that they became friends way too fast.
Well, I'm not talking about like their friendship. I just mean like their banter. Even when they weren't friends, like when they first met each other,
right.
He's like, and she was like, yeah, from the Skrulls, you know, the shapeshifter. Like, all right, ma'am, I'm gonna need you to come a little bit over here. I like Ben Mendelsohn. He was the lead Skrull. The one, you know, the guy from Ready Player One. He was
I liked him too.
Yeah, I liked him too. Like he was I'll say this, even though the Skrulls weren't what I thought they were gonna be.
They made him pretty.
He was funny.
Yeah.
He was definitely kind of funny.
The most charismatic one, easy.
I loved the black girl, how she was basically ready to beat the shit out of him when he called her young lady.
I liked how they was that whole little setup where she had the one of the other Skrulls looking like her.
Yeah.
And with the daughter and whatnot. I was like, ooh, that's a checkmate, nigga.
That's a you do that with that was just like, nah, this was a real black person movie.
Yeah, she'd still be mad after the fact that you did that.
At the end, she definitely shoot you with your guard down.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I say this is still a movie that was worth seeing in theaters. I'm not disappointed I saw it in theaters. It's just, how do I say this? I had this movie more hyped up in my head than Wonder Woman.
I definitely did not.
I did. I had this like in my head. I was so ready for this. The trailers got me hyped, and it wasn't just because it was a Marvel movie. It's like the trailers got me hyped. I know a little bit about Captain Marvel. I was like, I'm ready for this. And it kind of let me down a little. It kind of let me down once my initial high wore off. I think my excitement high was so up there that once it started to lower itself down, I was like,
that's because they threw a lot on her shoulders as a character.
Yeah.
Like, oh, she's the only one that can help us with Thanos and send this page off.
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying?
Shaking the whole damn thing.
But they put a lot on her shoulders, and then when it was her time to really show us why they did it,
it was kind of bland.
Yeah, they didn't. You know what I'm saying? So
it's like even when we saw the trailer earlier, and Thor was like, I liked her because the hammer flew past her. I was like, see, I need someone like I like that stoicness, but then I kind of needed like a smart ass reply after that too.
She needed somebody else in her movie to really get us excited the same way Spider-Man had Iron Man.
Yeah.
She needed somebody else in her movie, and Fury just wasn't enough.
Yeah.
She needed.
Well, that's because you had before I knew anything Fury.
Yeah. I mean, I get that, but she still
the way he came up with the
Avengers
the way he came up with the Avengers name.
They were about to be called the Protectors.
Goddamn, like because of her goddamn airplane.
Hey, Avenger.
But yeah, this movie could have been a lot better. I felt like they had some agendas that they were trying. I felt like they had some social agendas that they were trying to push.
Now,
that kind of brought it down.
With that agenda, do you think they were successful in pushing that agenda?
I mean, yes and no, because I feel like there are a lot of females who are just like, oh yeah, this. But at the same time, I also feel like there are a lot of, because let's face it, men are more likely to go see a comic book movie than females are. So
because of that agenda push, do you think more females will be like, hey, let me go see this? Because, so you think they failed in that aspect?
I know plenty of females who were hyped to see Wonder Woman who did not want to go see Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
So I've had females who asked me about Captain Marvel, and I've had females ask me about Captain Marvel even after I kind of lowered my rating. And I was like, you know what? I still kind of like hyped it up a little bit more than maybe I should have. I was like, this is still a good movie, and it has. I understand it has a broad audience, and I understand it has a core audience, and then just inside that core audience, it has a tiny little bit of a agenda audience. And so I was like, you know what? I'll help you get your agenda audience, even though it kind of ruined the movie a little bit for me.
I'll help.
Yeah, so I hyped it up a little bit more. I was just like, but yeah, like it gave me a new found respect for Wonder Woman a little bit more. It, you know, it's you think it would teach me not to be so hyped about movies, but I'm still going to be hyped about certain movies.
I don't know why you do it, man.
I'm going to give her another chance. Definitely in Infinity War. You know, it's the first movie out. People don't always do that well in their first movie out.
I think she'll be successful because now she's sharing the screen.
And she's going to be
Avengers.
the head. She's supposed to be the head of the MCU going forward. So, and Brie Larson is a talented actress. Don't get that twisted. I think she's a very talented actress
and super
but
cute.
I will also say that being
Just
a talented actor or actress doesn't always translate in every genre of film. And the only reason I'm saying that is just because, you know, some people just can't do comic book movies. Like they can
she pulls it off.
Yeah.
She pulled it off. She did it. It worked.
Yeah, so if you saw the movie, you can hate on me all you want. If you haven't seen the movie, I still say go see it no matter what my rating is, because this is just me and how I feel. I see some people who feel completely different. I see some people who feel that the movie's way worse than what I thought it is. So
I gave it 7 out of 10. Go check it out. It's easily watchable.
A 7 for a movie is normally my average. So 6.5, like that's more so like built in with disappointment and built in of the agenda and
it's picking.
And you mandarined us with the scrolls. With the scrolls, they did pull a Mandarin,
and you did.
Yeah.
But they were more enjoyable than the Mandarin.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. So.
All right, then, like I said, let us know what you think in the comments below. Like always, follow. Once again, follow. You're not sure where to follow? I'm going to show you where to follow. Follow us here. Those be the socials.
Yeah.
I'm just being quiet and just leaving it there so they have time to write it down.
Sweet.
You know, write it down, take a picture, screenshot it.
Well, I was about to say, write it down. When's the last time you wrote something down?
I write stuff down every day, man.
I can't. Oh man, I don't write at all.
If you're on a Windows computer, use the snipping tool to take a screenshot. A lot of people don't know about the snipping tool, but it comes in handy very often. But like always, me, Phenom. There, serious. We blurdies. Nah, not blurdies. I don't like that. We just blurs. But thank y'all for watching. Go watch Captain Marvel because we say so. Because I'm just a blurred in the world talking shit about a movie that I think is okay.
Peace.
Okay.